A little girl in a torn hoodie sprinted to Officer James' cruiser, sobbing, "Please, follow me home." Drivers stared, a shopkeeper sneered, and a woman muttered, "Probably another scam." But James saw the bruises on her knees and fear in her eyes. He turned on his lights and followed, into a dark alley where a silent door waited. Inside, something was terribly wrong, too quiet. James pushed the door open and the air hit him, stale, heavy, and cold. "Mommy?" the girl whispered, rushing inside. On the couch lay a woman, motionless, lips pale, breathing shallow. James radioed for an ambulance, then knelt beside the child. "What's your name?" "Lena," she sniffed. "She hasn't woken up for 2 days." James' jaw tightened. This wasn't a scam. This was a desperate child saving a life alone. Sirens wailed outside as paramedics rushed in. Lena clung to James' arm like he was the only solid thing in the world. "Don't let them take her," she cried. James gently held her shoulders. "They're helping your mom, I promise." At the hospital, doctors confirmed the truth. Lena's mother, Mara, had collapsed from pneumonia and exhaustion after working nonstop. James stared at the worn bills in Lena's pocket, then at her tiny hands shaking in fear. Someone had failed this family. Ames stayed in the waiting room all night, refusing to leave Lena alone. Nurses offered snacks, but she barely touched them, staring at the closed doors like they held her whole world. When Mara finally opened her eyes, she whispered, "My baby, is she okay?" Lena ran to her bed, sobbing, "I saved you, Mommy." Mara broke down, ashamed. She confessed she'd been denied help. Landlords ignored her, employers mocked her, and neighbors called her lazy. James' fists clenched. This community had judged and left them to suffer. The next day, James visited Mara's apartment, and his heart sank. Mold crawled up the walls. The fridge was empty, and a broken heater sat useless in the corner. In the hallway, the same shopkeeper from earlier smirked. "Told you, people like her always want handouts." James stared him down. People like her are the reason this city still runs. That night, James called local shelters, charities, and even his captain. Within hours, donations poured in: food, blankets, rent assistance. And the landlord, suddenly hearing police investigation, showed up trembling, ready to repair everything. Instant karma had started knocking. When Mara returned home, she froze in the doorway. Her apartment was spotless, warm, and filled with groceries. New bedding covered the couch, and a small toy sat on Lena's pillow. Mara's knees buckled as tears streamed down her face. Lena ran inside laughing. "Mommy, look, we have food." The landlord stood awkwardly, apologizing, while the shopkeeper watched outside, silent, ashamed, ignored by everyone. Mara hugged Officer James and whispered, "You didn't just save me, you saved my daughter's faith." James smiled softly. No one is low status, only overlooked.